Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how are you feeling? Season 12. How you
Oh, I'm
feeling, bro?
feeling great, Stephen. I'm so excited to be here, have my right name be called, and everything.
Yes. So did you have a good holiday? You and Abby, your wife?
Yeah. We did. We kind of kept it low key. Went to Atlanta for just a few days. We barely
Yes.
had time to see anyone, only
You did
family.
tell me this time at least. So
Yeah, exactly. And I know you had work stuff and whatnot.
yeah.
Uh, and then we stayed in DC for New Year's, and then just kind of stayed around, took it easy, and it was great. How about you guys?
Yeah, it was great. It went by so fast, but it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I agree.
Extremely quiet. It's quiet.
Can't beat that. Can't beat
Yeah,
that. Well, listen, I
exactly.
don't know about you all, but I've been watching movies back to back to back to back. It seems like I'll let you all take it over with movie reviews.
All right, perfect. It's a lot of movies during the break that we saw, and what I'm going to do is just kind of highlight the main three that I liked, I saw that I enjoyed. The first one was Spider-Man: No Way Home, and it's hard to believe that movie came out so long ago. We've been on break, but this is the third in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and it takes place right after the last movie. Spider-Man's identity is revealed. He must do something to kind of fix his reputation. And what this does, as of course an MCU movie, it's going to kick off a lot of things in the multiverse. He talks to Doctor Strange to kind of fix some of the things in his life, which kicks off all these things, bringing in all these Marvel villains, all the way from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. So I will say this is a movie that you don't have to know the last 6 Spider-Man movies, but it does help because you're gonna get a lot of references and flashbacks in it. Um, there's not much else to say. It was the top movie when it came out. I'm sure most people have seen it already, but this is Spider-Man firing on all cylinders. I thought it was really good. It was really fun. The references were well done while also kind of giving a fresh story. One of the few things I like about the Spider-Man movies also is it's uh, very low key. It's not like trying to save the world or the universe. It's really trying to save your neighborhood or what's going on in your
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
So Chike, I don't know if you happen to check it out too, but
Yeah, I thought it was the best Spider-Man movie to date. I thought that they did a really great
mhm.
job and a nice build up to what's for next.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. It was a good handoff, and I am excited to see the next Doctor Strange and see what they do with this whole
Oh
multiverse.
yeah. And so I heard a rumor that perhaps the X-Men, when they make their entrance again, will be through a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, that would be awesome. I couldn't wait.
Hmm.
I can't wait to bring them all in together. Now we
Yeah.
have Spider-Man in it, so just bringing the X-Men in would be the next step.
Hmm.
So the next movie I saw was another actual sequel, Matrix Resurrections, and this is the fourth Matrix movie. It is a film that I wasn't expecting. It is one of those films that provides an answer to a question no one ever asked, which is what happens after the third Matrix movie.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll say this: I went in with not really many expectations. It did meet those expectations. I enjoyed the movie. It was fun for what it was, but it's not as good as the original. It's not as good as the original trilogy. It's a lot of meta commentary. There's a lot of references to this movie, to the rest of the Matrix, and it does set up an interesting premise. Neo is back. He's living in the real world, which is in the Matrix, and now he's a game designer that created the Matrix series, and he keeps having flashbacks to this world not being real. The interesting twist is now that he has that. Is he really imagining this world that he created as a video game, or is it an actual Matrix? And so they kind of dig into that premise a little more, and they add a lot of new concepts. But by the time you get to the second half of the movie, it it kind of loses a lot of its charm. It doesn't go deep enough into some of the things you'd like to learn about the Matrix world, and it kind of has generic action scenes and a generic storyline after that. I will say it was
Mm.
out during HBO Max, so if you had a subscription to that, you got to see it for free, which is where I saw it. And again, I did enjoy it, but it's not really a good send off to the continued Matrix universe.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Mhm. Did you remember? Did you see the trilogy recently? Do you remember the storylines? Because I didn't know as much, and I needed to kind of. I had my family fill in some of the gaps as we were watching it
Yeah,
together.
I rewatched because I rewatched like at the tail end of the summer in
Mhm.
anticipation of knowing that it was coming out for Christmas. I just wasn't impressed. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't grab me the same way.
Yeah, yeah, and there is a line, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard it that your partner company Warner Brothers is going to make a sequel whether you're part of it or not, and we think. And there's a big rumor that Lana Wachowski, one of the original directors, made this movie because she knew that they were going to make it without them, so she might as well make
Yeah,
it. Who knows?
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. And then finally, I saw Encanto, and this is the latest Disney animated feature.
Mhm.
Taking place in Colombia, and it's about a magical house that bestows powers to the family members that live in the house. Starting with I guess the grandmother doesn't have it, but the grandmother has the candle that kind of gives the magic to everyone else, and it follows the character that Mirabelle, who actually was one that did not get the power, and what she has to do to kind of learn about what went wrong and how she can help save the house, which is now in danger. Um, it's fun. It's on Disney, so if you have a Disney subscription, this is definitely one the kids will enjoy. Very pretty, very colorful, a lot of catchy tunes. A lot of people have already been talking about that Bruno song that seems to be all the kids are raging about. So definitely a fun one. I will say it's, if I'm comparing it to previous Disney movies, it's not up to the level of Moana, but again, it's on Disney. It's a fun movie, and you'll highly enjoy it.
Cool. So, yeah, I watched some movies, but we've been out for a while. And me telling you about these movies that came out a month ago, 3 weeks
Mhm.
ago, yeah, we're gonna talk about some TV. Uh, how about Euphoria's back? We're 2 episodes, yeah, 2 episodes in, 2 episodes in, or three, two episodes in. And from the first episode, it was like explosions. It's as good as it ever was, but better. I
Mm.
don't know if you watched the show. Do you watch Euphoria?
No, I'll probably get into it eventually, but I watched the British version of Skins like a decade or so when it came out. So that whole
Mm.
teen drug drama, I kind of got it out of my system. But I know Euphoria is good. But I haven't scrambled to go back into it.
Okay, it's one of HBO's better shows.
Hmm.
I'm still watching, and just like that, I'm still trying to make up my mind how I feel about it. Um, I loved Sex in the City. Uh, it's entertaining, but I don't know if it's grabbing me the way Sex in the City used to grab me.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know yet. We're almost through the season. I think there's only 10 episodes. I
We
think we're
got two
at
more left.
six, two more,
Or at eight.
and
Yeah.
I still don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. I do like the inclusion of things, but I think that the inclusion is done maybe too deliberate. Is that a thing? Can I feel some type of way
I
about
think you
that?
said that. I think you might have mentioned that last time too. It's going a little too hard, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's not even just too hard. I can see the cracks. Like I can see the work. I don't want to see it. Let it be seamless. It's New York City. It shouldn't be that hard. But I can see like the strategically trying to, make things. I don't want to see it.
Well, I think
It's
the reason
supposed.
why it's so in your face is because there was none before on the regular series. And
But that's not what I'm reading. That's not what I'm reading. I'm reading like even because I'm a filmmaker, and I'm sure Adam, you probably do the same thing when you watch productions. You're looking at the extras, you're looking at the signage, you're looking at
Hmm.
the host, and I see like strategic. It's almost like when you watch reality TV show. You can tell in reality TV show when someone's plugging something because it's
Mhm.
in the camera line. It's right here. It doesn't need to be there. And so certain things about this show, it's staged very deliberate so that you can absorb them being correct. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the work. Just let it happen.
Yeah, I'll say that it's a curse of being someone who makes film, because you do notice that, and I will say you do kind of have to detach yourself sometimes. But I'll watch a movie or a show, and I'll see things, and I'm like, I don't even want to bring these up to others because it's just going to create too much. Because I see the cracks. I see the cracks. I'm like, ugh. But I'm like, well, other people are never even going to notice this. So,
well, I don't know, but I'll say that even though they have tried to be very inclusive and diverse, I never watched Sex and the City when it was in its heyday. So, but I have been watching this one because I'm HBO Max. And so remember when Sarah Parker, what's her name?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Jessica Parker. Her character, she was going to the Indian ladies party, and she dressed up, but she asked if it was appropriate for her to wear, and she said, yeah. Well, outside the show, it didn't go over well with that community. But this is what really bothered me. Today, I was minding my own business on Twitter, and there was a person who made an article. Miranda is the worst character, not the actress, but her character is the worst character on the show. And I'm like, I like Miranda. Well, the reason they said is because, so spoiler alert, if you're not watching the show, she's been married to her husband forever. They have a son, and he is now his hearing is gone. He has to wear hearing aids, and they're like roommates now. And so she falls in love with this comedian who works with Sarah Jessica Parker on the podcast, who identifies herself as they and them. And they're having an affair. And now there's an ultimatum, and Miranda's now leaving Steve, her husband, and to pursue this relationship. And people are upset because Steve was always just a nice guy. Why are they doing Steve like this? Why is he run down and can't hear? And then I was reading some of the memes. It says, because she had an affair, she cheated on Steve with the comedian. And then she tried to reenact it with her husband. And they said, so she pretty much cheated on her Steve and tried to reenact it with Steve. It's like a lot of comments. And they really don't, even like with her professor, who's African American. Initially, you thought that Miranda was going to become woke because of the experience she had initially when she met her professor. She was shocked that was a professor because she had braids and she just looked, a little more hip or whatever. And so they thought that was going to make the character develop more. And you see how she understands the cultural differences. And they said, well, they become friends in the end. They identified the fact that a woman can't have children. So it was like some missteps. But again, I like it. I like the show. I think it's good. I didn't watch Sex and the City, but I do like this, because I like it. It's showing them now they're older. You know what I mean? And
I think that's what I miss from Sex and the City. The Sex and the City part is the edginess. I guess it's not necessarily the sex part, but the edginess that the old show had. This show doesn't have that.
And that's probably why I can't identify, because I didn't watch it. So people who watched it and they see the characters develop, they're like, who are these people? Maybe. What'd you say?
But that is interesting that there's a new generation, so to speak, of people that never watched the original that are getting into it. So I thought this was only made for people who've seen the original, but apparently there's still an audience for it.
And there are some references that you won't get unless you've seen the original, which makes certain scenes funnier because the storyline. And I will say that about this show and Sex and the City. It's some of the best writing on TV. They have some great storylines, and I like how they interweave the character storylines together.
Do you dislike Miranda?
Me? No, I don't dislike Miranda. But people tend to forget that storyline. Remember, Steve cheated on her first.
I heard he cheated on her in the movie or something.
Yeah. Well, was it the movie? It was in the series, but it was before. He cheated on her.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So, and just like that, you can give that a watch and let me know what you think. I'm still trying to make up my mind, but I keep tuning in every week, so obviously I must like it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I'll be curious to see if they get a second season. Be curious to see that.
If they're going to get a second season. I don't know. Does anyone watch Abbott Elementary that comes on ABC?
Love it. Love Abbott Elementary. Love Abbott Elementary.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Shout out to Auntie Cheryl Lee Rouse.
Yeah.
Been trying to get Quinta on here. I want to talk to her about this show. And you know, she used to be a real school teacher in Philadelphia. Yeah.
I remember from her comedy, like little skits she used to put on social media.
Yeah.
And to see her now on a ABC show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's her show. She created it and she produces it.
It is funny.
Congrats.
It's like The Office take place in a school.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
Yes, but they're talking about real issues as it relates to education and the children. I think it's very clever.
Yeah.
Adam, did you start watching Boba Fett yet?
No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the whole thing's out and then try to binge watch it.
Okay, that's another thing on television that I'm watching. Comes on the Disney Channel.
How have you liked it? I've heard that the Mandalorian scratched the itch that people wanted out of Boba Fett as a character. So this series is boring.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, very much that. But Boba Fett is in the universe. Boba Fett is a legend, and because of that, they can do things to that storyline. Yeah, so it has possibilities.
Okay, yeah, I know. I can't wait to see it, but I'm going to wait for it to come out. But yeah, the reviews have not turned me off on it, but have warned me that it's exciting.
Yeah, and we talked about Spider-Man. If anyone has Showtime, please check out the show Yellow Jackets.
I've heard
if you are into drama, that is a very dramatic show with a great storyline. Every episode you're going to be on the edge of your seat. I enjoy it. And anyone will be tuning into Lifetime to watch the Janet Jackson documentary. I can't wait to see what she's talking about. They picked the wrong
days to put it on there, though. Friday and Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know.
Steven,
but
you're free on Friday and Saturday. What are you worried about?
This could have been This could have been a Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. It didn't have to be Friday, Saturday.
Well, I mean, if you how it really will go down, they're going to put it up and then it's going to be on every day after that. So yeah, they just want to get everybody tuned into that time period. And then I'm sure that there's sponsors that are coming on during that time. And you have to remember, I'm sure she's going to address it, which has never really been publicly said out loud. I mean, it has been, but not to the masses. Janet Jackson's been blackballed. So we'll find out. But yeah, I'm going to tune in. This should be interesting. And last but least, Ozark season 4.
Oh yeah.
I finished it last night. Well, part 1, because they split it up.
Splitting it up, yeah.
Yeah, that's split. It was so worth the wait. It was so worth the wait. And I'm still waiting for the second part because now I wish I hadn't absorbed it so fast because now I'm on edge waiting for the rest of it. It is so friggin' good. And this is their last year. This is the last season.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for me.
Well, I just want to shout out a few things that I watched. I've been watching a lot of, like I have a lot of streaming services, but I got rid of Apple TV because I don't watch anything on there that's currently, in the current. So I went back to Hulu, which I've been wanting to go back to Hulu, but I was like, don't want to pay for Hulu because I had to create my old cell phone, but I did subscribe, and I watched a movie called The Upside, which came out in 2018, I believe. It's with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. He's from what's that show that's
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
And Malcolm in the Middle, yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle. And so it's based on a true story of this wealthy man who is quadriplegic, what's it called?
Quadriplegic, yep.
Yeah. And so they're looking for someone to come take care of him at, live-in position. Nicole Kidman plays his assistant in the movie. And so Kevin Hart, who is just got off probation or parole, one of those things, he has a young son and a strained relationship with the mother, and he's just like a deadbeat father. And so he has to show that he's applying for jobs for probation. And so he thinks he's going for a janitor position, and he ends up getting the job. And they put him up, and he can't believe this, where he's staying. It's like this high-end luxury apartment in New York. He has his own quarters, and anyway, they become fast. Well, the gentleman, Brian's character, really likes Kevin because he's so funny. Kevin's character, who's so funny, the other people are so, I've been doing this for 20 years and I believe that you are a person too. And it's kind of like, they're kind of like talking to him crazy. And so Kevin's just like, okay, he's there making the little jokes, whatever. But it was such a really good movie. It was based on a true story. But my point in bringing this up is because it's more of a serious role for Kevin Hart. And I've seen several films recently that he's been more of a serious character. He throws in his humor, but it's not over the top. And he does such a great job at that. And I think that if he sticks to more scripts like that, because he's a good actor, you see it. And it was such a great movie. And I remember once I finished watching it, I posted on Facebook, this is a must see. He should stick to these kind of roles. And everyone's like, yeah, this is a great movie, great movie. Apparently something else came out around the time that kind of overshadowed this one. But it's a must see. It's a must see.
Okay. And it's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu. It's called The Upside. And then I watched the movie called Friends Vacation. And this is with
that was a good one.
What's her name from Insecure? She's the one who plays Molly. Molly's character.
Yeah. I can't think of her name right now.
But it is hilarious. I mean, so it's this couple. They're just
Yvonne Orji.
Yes, and they go on vacation, and I forgot. I think the Dominican Republic, and
Mexico. But
and they meet. Mexico. Okay, yeah, you're right. And they meet up with this couple. They somehow meet this couple. And it's just the craziest thing, but it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Can I just say, more so than any other, even more so than The Rock, I'm going to say that I really enjoy John Cena in film.
Yes,
he makes me laugh.
He handles that role. I mean, him and his they're engaged. Coolest. but they mean so well, and it's a must. If you want to have a good laugh, definitely check out that movie. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But there've been a lot of great things I've been watching. A lot of good things on TV now. Like every time I'm turning around, I'm recording something new. On TV, Oprah's network has a new show. It's about a Black-owned winery. They're on their second episode now. Third episode, I believe it's Tuesdays that they have. I have already too many shows to watch on Tuesday.
Who's producing that? Who's producing that show? Do you know? I'm
not sure, but she was promoting on Instagram, and that's what made me record it. And I watched it. It's actually really good. So the first scene, spoiler alert, I guess the father, he's over the whole winery, their company. He has a heart attack the first scene of the movie. And so now the family's fighting to see who's going to take over that power dynamic. But it turns out that his wife, because they had the perfect marriage, the perfect kids, it's very successful. And it turns out after he dies, the wife's sister, she comes to the house and she wants her $10,000 back that she loaned the husband. Well, why are you loaning my husband money? We could borrow from any bank. Well, he couldn't because he was over his head in debt. Oh, and by the way, our daughter is his daughter. So it's just a lot of different things. It's very dramatic, but yeah, that's it's a good show based on the 2 episodes I saw. Another show, because we have one of the cast coming on here, it's called Listing in Atlanta. And it's similar to Selling Sunset, Selling Tampa, or it's female real estate agents in whatever city. And it's just showing, the ins and outs, them working together, the drama, and then selling these upscale homes. And we have one of the agents, she's coming on soon to talk about being on the show. That's on OWN as well. And so more to come on that. But yeah, there's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great content out there.
Speaking of Atlanta, has either of you watched Kenan?
I have not.
Oh, the TV show with Kenan Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
But he plays like a daytime. He plays at Atlanta. It takes place in Atlanta, but he plays a daytime TV show personality. Yeah, but I highly recommend, especially season 2 is really kicking it in gear. But it has Kenan and Chris Redd, Don Johnson's in it. But if you're looking for a good lighthearted show, it's on Hulu.
Yeah,
that's really funny. Especially if you like Kenan Thompson, then definitely I would recommend that one as well.
Okay.
Right. Anything coming down the pipeline before we wrap?
Not yet. The only thing I've been wanting to watch, The Tragedy of Macbeth, stars Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand. It's probably just a big Oscar buzz movie. Only problem is my Apple Plus subscription has already passed the 7-day trial, and it's only streaming on there, so I won't be watching it unless someone else gets it. But that's the only thing on my radar at the moment.
All these streaming services, I can't.
There's too many, yeah.
Too many. What about you, Chike?
I don't have anything on my radar. I just want to add to the whole streaming service thing. I have to cap it off at some point because you'll wind up going broke. And then also, too, it's too much content. It's just too much.
It is.
It's too much.
It is.
I can't absorb it all.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you as always. Let us know what to watch, what to save our money on, and we appreciate you. We'll be right back after this.
Thanks.